For more than a decade, the rivalry between New Zealand and South Africa has represented everything that makes international rugby extraordinary. It has never been just about winning matches or lifting trophies. Every encounter between these two rugby giants has carried history, emotion, and an unmatched level of physical intensity. Generations of legendary players have built this rivalry through unforgettable moments, brutal contests, and mutual respect that extends far beyond the final whistle. Few players understand that reality better than former All Blacks captain Sam Cane, whose international career placed him directly in the heart of some of the greatest clashes rugby has ever witnessed. Across 12 demanding years in international rugby, Sam Cane experienced nearly every challenge imaginable. He battled injuries, captained one of the world's most successful rugby nations, celebrated famous victories, endured painful defeats, and competed against players who will forever be remembered among the game's greatest athletes. Yet when asked to identify the one Springbok who consistently stood above the rest, his answer came without hesitation. For Sam Cane, the player who defined South Africa's modern era more than anyone else was Pieter-Steph du Toit. That statement immediately caught the attention of rugby supporters around the world because Sam Cane was uniquely qualified to make such a judgment. During his international career, he faced two completely different generations of Springbok teams. Early in his career, he encountered veterans from South Africa's celebrated 2007 Rugby World Cup winning squad, players whose physical dominance and tactical excellence helped establish one of rugby's greatest teams. Later, he battled the modern Springbok side that lifted consecutive Rugby World Cup trophies in 2019 and 2023, creating another dynasty under head coach Rassie Erasmus. Very few players have competed against both eras at the highest level. That experience allowed Sam Cane to compare some of the finest athletes South Africa has ever produced. Throughout those years, he found himself tackling towering forwards, contesting breakdowns against world-class loose forwards, and matching physicality with players renowned for their relentless work ethic. Every test demanded absolute commitment, and every encounter left lasting memories. When Stephen Donald asked him during an appearance on the aftermatch with Kirsten Beeve which Springbok stood out most across those years, many listeners expected him to list several legendary names. After all, South Africa has produced extraordinary backrow players throughout modern rugby history. Names like Dwayne Vermeulen, Siya Kolisi, Schalk Burger, and Francois Louw immediately come to mind whenever discussions turn to elite loose forwards. Each possessed unique strengths that shaped different eras of Springbok rugby. Instead, Sam Cane immediately highlighted Pieter-Steph du Toit. His answer carried significant weight because it reflected years of first-hand experience rather than distant admiration. Every compliment came from direct competition at the highest level of world rugby. He had spent countless minutes trying to contain the influence of the towering Springbok forward, witnessing firsthand the extraordinary engine that has become synonymous with Pieter-Steph du Toit's reputation. According to Sam Cane, one of the most remarkable aspects of Pieter-Steph du Toit's career has been his ability to overcome adversity. Injuries threatened to interrupt his progress on several occasions, and there were moments when questions naturally emerged about whether he would ever consistently reach his incredible potential. Rugby at the elite level places enormous demands on the body, particularly for forwards who repeatedly engage in collisions throughout 80 exhausting minutes. Many outstanding careers have been shortened because of recurring injuries. Others have never fully recovered the explosive athleticism that initially made them special. Yet Pieter-Steph du Toit repeatedly demonstrated resilience that matched his physical gifts. Each setback became another challenge to overcome rather than an obstacle that defined his career. That resilience impressed Sam Cane almost as much as anything accomplished during actual matches. He explained that despite periods affected by injuries, Pieter-Steph du Toit always managed to return stronger, continuing to perform at the highest international standard whenever South Africa needed him. For teammates, coaches, and supporters alike, availability often becomes one of the greatest qualities an elite player can possess. Remaining fit through demanding international seasons requires remarkable discipline, preparation, and determination. Beyond his recovery from injuries, however, what truly amazed Sam Cane was the relentless nature of Pieter-Steph du Toit's performances. Elite rugby frequently separates players not simply through moments of brilliance but through consistency. Spectacular plays capture headlines, Yet championships are often built by athletes who repeatedly make difficult contributions that rarely appear on highlight reels. Winning collisions, chasing kicks, making defensive tackles, supporting attacks, contesting breakdowns, and maintaining intensity from the opening whistle until full-time demand exceptional conditioning. According to Sam Cane, Pieter-Steph du Toit embodied exactly those qualities. He described him as a player who simply never stopped working. Regardless of the stage of the match, the scoreline, or the physical punishment absorbed during previous phases, the Springbok forward always seemed capable of producing another dominant effort. Every time opponents believed they had finally escaped his influence, he somehow appeared again, making another tackle, disrupting another attack, or carrying the ball with remarkable determination. That relentless energy reminded Sam Cane of another legendary Springbok who had defined an earlier era of South African rugby, Burger. Although Sam Cane acknowledged that he only encountered Burger toward the latter stages of the veteran's career rather than during his absolute peak, the similarities between the two players remained obvious. Both possessed imposing physical frames, remarkable endurance, fearless attitudes, and an unwavering commitment to competing for every possession. The comparison extended beyond appearances. While their blonde hair and towering physiques created visual similarities, it was their mentality that truly connected them. Neither player ever appeared willing to retreat. Both embraced physical confrontation rather than avoiding it. Every breakdown represented another opportunity to impose themselves. Every defensive sequence became another chance to pressure opponents into mistakes. Throughout an 80-minute test match, that relentless mentality gradually wears opponents down, not only physically but mentally as well. For players facing them, there was rarely an opportunity to relax. That constant pressure forms one of the defining characteristics of truly elite international forwards. Rugby supporters often celebrate spectacular tries or game-winning moments, but coaches consistently value players capable of maintaining extraordinary standards across every phase of play. Pieter-Steph du Toit has built his reputation through exactly that kind of consistency. His performances have repeatedly influenced matches without always dominating statistical categories. Defensive leadership, intelligent positioning, relentless support lines, and unmatched work rate frequently provide the platform for teammates to shine. Those qualities may not always dominate headlines, yet fellow professionals recognize their immense value immediately. That recognition explains why praise from respected opponents often carries special significance. When an international captain identifies a rival as the finest player he faced, those words reflect genuine respect earned through years of competition rather than fleeting admiration. Sam Cane's comments therefore offer a fascinating glimpse into how the world's best players evaluate one another away from public debates and supporter opinions. International rugby frequently creates fierce rivalries during matches, but it also produces profound respect between athletes who understand the extraordinary sacrifices required to perform consistently at the highest level. Every player appreciates the countless hours of preparation, rehabilitation, training, and mental resilience necessary to compete against the world's strongest teams. Few individuals embody those demands better than Pieter-Steph du Toit, whose career has become a symbol of determination, adaptability, and relentless excellence. As Sam Cane reflected on more than a decade of unforgettable battles against South Africa, it became increasingly clear why one particular Springbok continued to stand above every other opponent he encountered. His words offered not only praise for an exceptional player but also insight into the qualities that separate world-class athletes from genuine rugby legends.